What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Rae Sremmurd drops their sophomore album titled Sremmlife 2. Before we get into this album, I kind of got to run down my history with Rae Sremmurd. When they first came into this industry, they were huge, popular everywhere you look. People were reciting No Hook, No Flex Zone, and then Sremmlife came out, and that was probably I think it was like the second month that I was doing reviews, and I was doing them with one of my friends, Reese, and we did not like the album at all. And I still hold that same opinion from that review as I do now. But with any artist that I'm going to listen to, I don't like to let the previous body of work affect how I'm looking at this next one. So I went into Sremmlife 2 with a clear mind, hoping that we'd see something of value, and I was very surprised with this album. It's probably one of the most surprising albums in my opinion this year, simply because I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. For me, the album really started to take shape around By Chance, and then right after that is Look Alive and Black Beatles featuring Gucci Mane. Those three make up the best stretch on the album. I think By Chance and Look Alive, they should have been a lot bigger than what they were. I mean, you have like Look Alive. I looked, it was about 10 million views on YouTube, but it's nowhere near as big as any of the singles from Sremmlife. And I think that was one of the problems. You had the pushback, and unfortunately, it didn't really do too much. Here's what it did do though. While it didn't help like create a hit, it made the album stronger in my opinion, because if they had dropped in June like they planned, we wouldn't have Black Beatles. Black Beatles is my favorite song on the entire album. I love it because it doesn't sound like a Mike Will made it beat, but it is. And I like that it's very melodic. I think that's one thing about Rae Sremmurd that I appreciated from Sremmlife. If that's the only thing, was like their melodies and hooks were a lot of the time on point, and I think they've only strengthened that with Sremmlife 2. Going back to Black Beatles though, I just really love the whole vibe of the song, and having Gucci on it is like the perfect addition because it doesn't sound like something Gucci would just take up on his own. Gucci is on DJ Khaled's album, and I was disappointed because it's a Metro Boomin beat. It sounds like something Gucci would pick out of a pack of beats. But here, you have a record and you're like, okay, Gucci would definitely not get on this otherwise, but it sounds just amazing. It's magnificent. When you look at Rae Sremmurd, you can't get too much into the lyrics. I think if you're looking at it too deep, you're going to hinder the enjoyment factor on this album. Like I said, they have improved on the lyrics, yes, but I think it's within the boundaries of what Sway and Jimmy usually talk about. They usually rap about partying and strippers and, you know, turning up, all that kind of stuff. So they've improved the lyrics as far as that goes. And then there's like the experimental side. There's a record on here called Came a Long Way. And this record is really good because it doesn't sound anything like you'd expect from Rae Sremmurd. With this record, you have them reflecting on their career thus far, you know, as far as becoming famous and touring. It's probably like a third reflection and 2/3 bragging and boasting, you know, talking about how they have strippers and, you know, they party and their lives are so good. It's probably everything you'd expect from them as far as like lyrics go. But then there's like, I feel like it's the melancholy production that really seals the deal for me. It sounds like nothing else on the album, and it sounds like nothing that you would have heard off of Sremmlife. So again, you see that kind of growth, that experimentation on there. Now we have to have a conversation about the hooks on the album. For me, I'm always going to enjoy something that's more melodic but not repetitive, and I think with like a lot of what Sway Lee does, because he kind of takes the lead on a lot of hooks. He's really good at doing that on Swang, on Look Alive, you know, just all these different records on the album. He's good at doing that, but then you have some that are repetitive and they just really sound awful. Like, I can't explain why I appreciate Do Yoga, but then turn around and hate Set the Roof, because they are essentially the same structure. It's do yoga is all my girls do yoga, all my girls do yoga, hey, then get high at night. Set the roof is Little John saying 6 words, a total of 6 words for the hook. And it's probably the least creative moment on the entire album for me. And it sucks because I was looking forward to Little John. Just as an artist, he had one hell of a run. So I was like, okay, if anybody can bring like that amped up, that party side out of Little John, that crunk side, it was gonna be Rae Sremmurd. But unfortunately, that record falls short for me. The one record that I also didn't care for at all, like I couldn't even get into the verses, was Over Here. It sounds like a Sremmlife leftover, and I say that not as a compliment. If you like Sremmlife, hey, the record might be really good to you. But for me, it felt like a regression from everything that they were doing on that album. All the different sounds, all the growth in the lyrics and the production in the hooks, all of that. So out of 14 songs, if only a few are forgettable, then they've done their job really well. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to like this album as much as I did, but there's records on here like By Chance, Now That I Know, Look Alive, Black Beatles. There's what else? Swang. Those are the records that I'm going to be keeping in rotation for the rest of the year. Long after this review is over with, and after we've all moved on to the next week's releases, those are the records that will remain in rotation. Now, let me know what you think about Sremmlife 2 in the comment section below. What was your favorite song? What was your favorite hook, chorus on the album? Talk to me. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at Sermons Domain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.